Yes, Nithyanandam, welcome back. We will now be beginning the segment of the glimpses of the glorious past on the 11th of April. On this day, the 11th of April, over the years, we will now be seeing the beautiful Leela of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. So let us now enter into the first year, 12th of April 2006. On this day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism visited the Arshavidya Gurukulam in Saylorsburg, Pennsylvania, United States. Later that day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism gave an interview to the EBC radio in the city of New Jersey. That day concluded with the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism continuing on his series of addresses and initiations from the Shiva Sutras. On the topic of Shiva Sutras, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism had previously shared that Shiva is Shiva Sutra. He is expressing his whole being. And in the same way that we cannot separate Shiva from the Shiva Sutras, we cannot separate the master from his experience. We are now moving on to the 12th of April 2008. On this day's presidential address, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism presided over an internal high-level meeting with all the ministers and ambassadors of Adi Kailasa Bengaluru Adinam, who were responsible for organizing and the conventions and registering people that were to participate in them. The whole effort of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism since day one has been to make living enlightenment as an easy and approachable lifestyle without at the same time compromising the least on the vision of what Sanatana Hindu Dharma is, as it was presented to us by the ancient rishis in the Vedas and Agamas. For that, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism hasn't stopped organizing and teaching as many as possible about the science of the Vedas and Agamas, who will be the critical factor in restoring humanity to its original state. So here we can see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism in the Ananda Sabha, in the Adi Kailasa, Bengaluru Adinam, giving the vision and the mission of Kailasa. We are now moving on to the 12th of April 2011. On that day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism expounded on the 146th Sutra, 3rd chapter, 40th verse of the Patanjali Yoga Sutras, in which Patanjali gave a technique for straight enlightenment. In these profound Akashic revelations and initiations from the Patanjali Yoga Sutras, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism shared the method of doing samyama on udana and achieving the powers of walking on the water, swamps, thorns, fire, and the ability to leave the body whenever they wanted. For that purpose, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism guided the delegates through a three-step process. The first, ideas and engrams that they received about death, the first death they faced in their life, the first death of the near and dear ones of their life, death of somebody who was their partner closely associated in their life, and fourth, their changed ideas about death. So let us now see the excerpt from this beautiful satsang.
सदाशिवसमारम्भा शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. I welcome you all with my love and respects. I welcome all the devotees, disciples, samajis, satsangis sitting with us around the world at this moment in 702 places in one-way connection, in 7 places in two-way connection, in 200 cities in 27 countries. I welcome all of you with my love and respects. Meenakshi is really rocking all over the world. Chittirai Brahmotsavam, the Vasanta Brahmotsavam, the presence of Meenakshi is being felt all over the world, everywhere. Day before yesterday I announced of Digvijaya, Meenakshi's Digvijaya. Digvijaya means Meenakshi goes around and conquers the whole world and gets the Shiva darshan in Kailasa and gets enlightened. Then the Shiva's marriage happens. So the Digvijaya, all the world feels the presence of Meenakshi. I said, all our ashrams and temples will feel her presence and kumkum will come from my padukas. Just in one day, 6 places kumkum came from the padukas: Calgary, Oman, and Siragapadi, Guadalupe, and New Jersey, Atlanta. So 6 places, either in the hands of a devotee or in paduka or in deity. Kumkum has appeared, and just now I am receiving the message. New Jersey had kumkum in the paduka and jasmine smell and sound of the anklets continuously. So he said, all these 3 are Meenakshi's presence. Sound of the anklet and jasmine and kumkum. Great. My blessings. San Jose, I saw your Brahmotsavam video. Great. Amarapuri. America is Amarapuri. Devas, Amaraspuri. California is Kapilaranya. Let me enter into the subject. As I said, today I will continue on the same sutra. All the cities which are in two-way connection, which are having Nayana Diksha: Ohio, Phoenix, Seattle, San Jose, Los Angeles, Vancouver. I am continuing on the 146th Sutra of Patanjali's Yoga Sutra in 3rd chapter, 40th verse. Udana Jayat Jalapanga Kantaka Atishu Ashanga Utkranti Cha means the method of doing Samyama and Udana and achieving the powers of walking on the water, swamp, thorns, fire, etc., and the ability to leave the body whenever you want. Yesterday I gave you all homework to work on the different engrams of death. Today, spend little time, share these engrams with others. See, when you spell it out, it comes to your consciousness. The other can guide you. Other does not need to express any words. Just you sharing with the other, you will have the right click. People who are participating in this samyama, if you have finished your homework, come on, get your partner and start sharing. If you have done, catch your partner. One by one, elaborately share the engram. I gave you instruction, 4 instructions. 1, first ideas and engrams you received about death. Second, the first death you faced in your life. Third, the first death of the near and dear one of your life. Death of somebody who was partner closely associated in your life. Third, your changed ideas about death. Find out a partner who has also done homework. Sit facing each other. When your insecurities comes out, your breathing becomes deep and strong. Please understand, these are some of the basic laws. With insecurity, you will take more air, but you will not take more prana. Without insecurity, you will take more prana, but less air. As I said, as I declared yesterday, every day I am going to guide you guys into the whole samyama. I am not just going to talk. I have decided I will make you go through the process. See, if you are a devotee or disciple visiting today and did not do the homework, yesterday's homework, great, no problem, because you don't know. Every day I am going to lead you into the samyamas, different samyamas, make you experience. Find your partner, share this, the insecurities you have. Sometimes your insecurities will be very illogical and animalistic. I have seen people who live in the mountains, inside the interior land, not even near ocean, will carry such a deep fear about tsunami. If you were not present in yesterday's satsang, now you can take time and finish writing. Dig out. It is a time for you. I am guiding you into the different samyamas. Now the other group, start sharing. if you come out of your insecurities, your Udana function will become perfect. Straight away you will be healed of all the diseases related to lungs and heart, the upper body's vital organs. This will directly lead into healing of upper body vital organs. Yes. Attention, please. Now, I am sharing deepest sacred secret from the sutra, 3 basic truths on death. Then I will give you the technique. What yoga declares as death is your will getting disconnected from the air flow of the upper body. In the upper body there is a kind of airflow the air going up. Your will means you are feeling that I exist. That will and that upper body airflow getting separated is what is death. If your will and that airflow, Udana, is completely in tune with each other, it is health. They are not separated, but they are not in tune with each other. Please understand. Your will and the upper body airflow, Udana, these two, if they are in tune with each other, it is health. If they are disturbed but not separated, is disease. If they are separated, it is death. The next question arises, how the will and the airflow can be in tune, not separated? Your will needs to be attuned for Udana by infusing right ideas about death, removing the insecurity. And your Udana needs to be attuned to your will by the samyama, a technique. Please understand. Either your will or Udana, even if one is not ready to tune itself with other, you will have difficulty. Both of them have to feel connected in tune with other. Your will be tuned only if it understands about death and insecurities. Your Udana will be tuned with a technique. Technique is enough for your Udana to be in tune. Udana means upper body airflow. Upper body vital airflow is the translation of the word Udana. One of the important truth is your insecurity is the only reason why your will and Udana get separated. If you don't have insecurity, Even after your body stops functioning, your udana and will not be separated. You can assume the another one body just like that. It's like a changing a shirt, nothing more than that. Please understand. Your fear makes your will and udana separate. When the fear is not there, even if your body stops functioning due to old age, you will assume another one body without any gap. Like you remove one shirt to put on the other shirt. That few seconds till you put on the other shirt, you don't suffer. Or you are not insecure. You just know the other shirt is in the hand and you are wearing it. Just exactly as Bhagavad Gita says, it is changing clothes. Nothing but changing clothes. I'll give you the technique. Visualize Udana's color is red. Please understand, red. This whole upper body is alive with a cool red energy. The Udana's description of Udana is red color, cool effect, airflow. Visualize this whole upper body. Upper body means the between neck and the anahata. From anahata till the Vishuddhi. This whole area, visualize with a deep cooling red light. There is a shining red light, very deeply cooling, alive. Visualize this energy. Please understand, this will drastically bring down your insecurity, make your will and udana in tune, and make you experience a deep breathing. This samyama, straight away two things will happen. The air inflow will reduce drastically, but feeling alive and energetic will increase immediately. Your eyeballs will become pure white. Means that white portion will become pure white. You will feel like deeply rested. If you sleep for 15 hours or 12 hours deeply and wake up, how your eyes will be bright, fresh, shining. Same way your eyes will feel now. Just practicing this udana, samyama, 20 minutes. Not more than that. You don't need to practice more than 20 minutes. Actually, if you practice more than 20 minutes, even your nail and all will become red and shining. Udana is the process of directly sucking the vital air from the air without taking much of the air content. Please understand, without taking much air, just taking the prana. Let's enter into the samyama. I'll give you the clear instruction. First, understand all your insecurities. It is fear which is responsible. I can give you one more thing. If any of you wanted to share some of the vital insecurity you are carrying, you can share, I'll guide you, or I'll give you some clarity. Which you shared with your partner but did not get any answer, response from him. He is also not able to guide you or make you understand. If you are carrying anything, come on, you can ask me, or you can share any of the vital understanding you had. I'll guide. Yes, get the mic. So that you understand the futility of insecurity experientially, then this Udana will work on you, help you.
Nithyananda, this was when I was at the age 22, and my sister, who's 3 years older than me, was 25. I was I told a lie in the house that it was my day off. I was going to work. It was my day off, and I went out with my husband, now husband Rishi Manisha, and we went for a movie. And we were in the movie 4 to 7. 7:30 I came back home, and everybody said, "Don't you know the news?" And I didn't know what it was. I came to know my sister was hospitalized. And somebody took me to the hospital. On the way to the hospital, they said that she died of a brain hemorrhage. And the shocking thing is, the theater in which I was watching the movie, exactly that same minute, in the very next lane, she was hospitalized and she was fighting for death. When I went there, I realized that she had actually consumed poison and it was a suicide. And I was totally broken because I felt guilty for what had happened. One, because I was enjoying that moment, doing something where I could have probably held her hand and been a support for her. Two, a few days back when she told me that she didn't approve of this boy, he may not be the right fit for me, I just fought with her saying, "You take care of your life and get lost, don't interfere into my life." That's when I realized that she was, and I saw the symptoms, she was in deep depression the last few days. And probably I had such a wall around me, I didn't allow her into my life, neither did I inquire what was going in her life. So probably a little more friendliness from my end would have stopped her from the fate that she met with. Given that we were very close since childhood, she's just 3 years older than me. So even I just got with this exercise that I still carry that guilt somewhere, that probably I was responsible for the death.
Understand, here you are talking about the guilt and the responsibility for the other death. That is one dimension. But I wanted to bring all of your focus on your insecurities. You see, here I am looking at the same thing from another angle. I am not saying be insensitive and all that. All I am saying is, why do you suffer if your sister dies? Because the part of you, the psychological part of you is your sister. All your relatives are part of your psyche, your mind. All of them have one share in your mind. All of them are living inside your mind at certain part. So when your sister dies, that part is dying. That is why so much suffering. When your mother dies, that part is dying. Whenever somebody around you dies, that part of the mind is dying. That part of your identity is dying. That is why so much suffering. So I am trying to bring your attention from various other angles to this insecurity angle. Why the relatives or near and dear one's death causes so much of insecurity in you? It causes so much of insecurity because in you, some part, something dies. Come on, anybody else?
Nithyananda, every time I even do N-Kriya, even the Shambhavi Mahamudra or the Samana Kriya, I feel I am dying. So even Sunday morning, when it dawns, I feel I am going to die. I am unable to stop my breath. I feel I have a very deep fear that I may die this day. Every Sunday morning I have this fear. So every time when there is an opportunity for me, when there is a compulsion for me, or any other space where I have to stop my breath, I feel I have a very deep fear that I may die.
You see, this fear stops the Udana flow, and Udana flow, if it is not proper, then again that enriches this fear. It's like a vicious circle. It is like a vicious circle. Actually, if you are deeply having the insecurity about your breath, you have to do N-Kriya just to break that fear. All right, he says he has a fear, but he has done N-Kriya at least last 10 times, last 10 weeks. He has not died. So the only way to break these insecurities, do the N-Kriya again and again. Nothing else can be done to break it. And from Ohio, Shivananda says about our insecurity, deep fear that our children dying before her, more than her death. See, children are more like your ambition in other body. Please understand, I am defining one of the greatest habit in the planet Earth. One of the greatest unconscious habit in the planet Earth is giving birth to children and expecting them to live as you want, or trying to live through them for extended years than your body. Please understand. Trying to live in extended years through the body of the children is one of the strong unconscious desire human beings carry.
Yes, we are now moving on to the 12th of April 2012. On that day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism visited the Madurai Adinam, which preserves the blueprint of this enlightenment ecosystem through the sacred lineage of pontiffs. The chosen emissaries of Paramashiva and Parashakti, the pontiffs, are the direct embodiments of the cosmos, with the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism being the 293rd Pontiff of the Madurai Adinam. Kailasa's national anthem begins with a verse that addresses the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism as Kailasa Dvadashanta Shamala Pitha Rudha. Later that day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism visited the Arulmigu Meenakshi Sundareshwarar temple, the temple which he, in his previous incarnation as Devi Meenakshi, had built. The Chittire Perivira Brahmotsavam that we are observing currently is the celebration of the life and glory of Devi Meenakshi, the cosmic mother herself, who played the role of the queen of the Pandya Madurai Samrajyam along with Bhagavan Sundareshwara Paramashiva. Let us now see the various happenings of the 12th of April in the e-news.
Nithyanandam, this is Mark and welcome to NTV News live from Vidya Ashram. It's Thursday, April 12th, 2012, the year of meditation. Today's headlines. As the Swamiji had traveled to Madurai yesterday, the morning replay discourse was on the Bhagavad Gita, Learning to Flow with Life. And we'll have a review of last night's replayed esoteric evening satsang. The Swamiji traveled to Madurai yesterday with a press meet with Sri Arunagiranatha from the Madurai Adinam. And Inner Awakening and Genius in 2 days. Los Angeles sends a video update. And N Genius Summer Yoga Camp. Be Unclutched webinar April 15th. And April 13th, tomorrow, is Vedic New Year's. Now for today's top stories. In the morning replayed discourse, the Swamiji talked about learning to flow with life.
O destroyer of enemies, rise up and abandon this indulgent weakness of the mind. Please understand, basically, you enjoy weakness of mind. You enjoy the word, what can I do? I tell you, the moment you stop enjoying the word, what can I do? You will achieve enlightenment. Just this one engram, what can I do? If you can break, enlightenment is achieved. As long as you enjoy that word, what can I do? You will go on be using it, cherishing it, living it, loving it. Using that as an escape route. Because any higher truth is told to your mind, the first way you escape is, this only is my capacity, what more I can do? You bring all kinds of justification. I am from an ordinary village. Or you say, I was brought up in a city, I am spoiled at the young age itself. If you are from the village, you say, you are brought up from a small village, this much I raised myself in my life, that itself is great thing. If you are from city, you say, no, I was brought up in a corporate way, in a city, I was already spoiled in the young age, I should have been brought up in a small village, pure way, I would have achieved a lot more. The moment you start cherishing your weakness, you are caught. What can I do? Is indulging in weakness. Understand? I am not even saying break your weakness. All I am saying is stop enjoying it. Stop cherishing it. Stop supporting it. Stop constantly feeling connection with it. Weakness is death. I can say it is worse than death. Because even in death, nothing is lost. But in weakness, everything is lost. Materialistic is a person who thinks during death everything is lost. Spiritualist is a person who understands anything can be lost only when you are living, not when you are dying. Understand? While you are living, only some things can be lost or gained. Now you are alive. Now you can lose some good things or gain some good things. You can lose some good things, you can gain some good things. You can lose some bad things and gain some bad things. Any loss, any gain, any losing, any gaining happens only when you are living.
And in last night's Esoteric Evening Satsang replay, the Swamiji talked about Agori lifestyle practice.
Continuously taking decisions based on the understanding of impermanence of the world is living enlightenment. If all your decisions are constantly made based on the impermanence of the world, it is living enlightenment. If your cognition is established in the impermanence of the body, it is living enlightenment. 3 months is enough time for you to catch, understand impermanence of life. If you are seeing the cremation every day, actually day in and day out, That is why stories still, first thing they do is ask their followers to go and sit in cremation ground, where they will be constantly reminded about impermanence of the world, where they can constantly see kings and queens and priests and beggars ending their life in a same way. Death is the only thing which happens to everybody equally. You may use teakwood or sandalwood to burn the body, but you have to burn it. You may use sandalwood box or ordinary mud, but you have to bury it. You may build huge tombs and buildings, but you have to bury it. Living in the cremation ground, seeing dead bodies being burnt every day,
Yes, we are now moving on to the 12th of April 2013. On this day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism described the nature of Kundalini, our essential energy. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism explained that when we live an ordinary human life without awakening our Kundalini, our destiny to achieve superconsciousness is never realized. Kundalini awakening results in deep contentment and fulfillment. He further shared that to imprint the Kundalini permanently requires a physical preparation through yoga and kriyas, and the mental preparation through new thinking focused on the four principles of Dharma. Then, when Kundalini rises, the bliss that gushes through the nervous system creates great excitement and optimism. Next, we are moving to the year 2014. On this day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism delivered deeper insights on the importance of building the right identity. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism explained that in the society, we are being taught only to focus on body building, which has a severe depreciation value, diminishing as we age. But we build our identity with authenticity based in consciousness. Our appreciation value raises exponentially, increasing as we age. Authenticity is building the being to live in the space of Advaita. Below, we can see the pictures of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism from the Nithyananda Satsang. And on 12th of April 2015, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism delivered a presidential address, the Nithyananda Satsang, a third eye awakening webinar in which the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism conducted a e-Kalpataru. Later that day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism conducted a team-only dinner along with all the Adinavasis, the ambassadors, and the ministers of the Kailasa nation in Adi Kailasa, Bengaluru Adinam. Here we can see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism giving the Nithyananda Satsang. Let us see the various happenings of the 12th of April 2015.
knowledge is a knowledge is a knowledge. Being active is being active is being active. Should not be judged, scaled, measured based on the returns. Income or the luxury or the comfort it is expected to bring. Knowledge should be for the sake of more knowledge. Work should be for the sake of more work. Work to get more work. have knowledge to have more knowledge. Don't understand, whenever you try to use knowledge to achieve comforts and luxuries, nothing wrong. Saraswati can always bring you Lakshmi, but when Lakshmi becomes the goal of Saraswati, then starts ignorance. Wealth can always be achieved by knowledge, nothing wrong. But if just wealth becomes the goal of your knowledge, there stops your knowledge and ignorance starts. Your decision brought you ignorance. Your simple decision will bring knowledge to you. Your decision brought you ignorance. Your decision is enough to bring you knowledge. Your decision brought you laziness. Your decision is enough to get you out of laziness. Your decision brought you boredom. Your decision is enough to make you excited. When you think something more than your decision is required for your knowledge, for your being active, that is when the problem starts. First, drop the stupidity that you need something more to undo the things you have done. No, you don't. If you have become ignorant, just know out of which you become ignorant. If you undo that, that is enough. If you become tired, just know out of which you become tired. If you just undo that, that is enough. If you become bored about life, just see how you become bored, undo that, that is enough. If you think, I need more to undo what I have done, is Maya, delusion.
Like how Swamiji told, when you complete with a root pattern, you get no source pattern. So basically, you having knowledge about your source pattern, which will empower you. So what I understood from that is like how she told, when you know your root pattern from which you're suffering for so many years, when you just sit and complete with that pattern and start, just undo what you did that time. Just undoing what you did that time, that same energy which you require for undoing it, just that is called a source pattern. So when you undo the thing which you did at that time, when you said yes to the ignorance, just undo it, that will become a source pattern, and your whole life will just empower you with the help with the source pattern.
Okay, I just wanted to add a story for this, like how in the life of Swami Vivekananda, like he really wanted to see God. So once he went to Swami Ramakrishna, then he experienced that completion, and he was able to see. He was able to see God, and he was able to experience God. So immediately how Swami Vivekananda experienced, immediately he wanted to share his experience to the whole world. So he used that as his source, and based on his experience, he just told the whole world and gave the whole world what he shared with the whole world, what he had as experience. So what I understood from this is so even Swami Vivekananda used his own experience as the source, and he enriched the whole world based on that experience.
So this clay you have, and then there's lots of sand mixed with it, so it is not able to hold the water with it. So there's water which is quickly getting drained out. Then now when you look in what is the real problem, when you dig, you'll find out that it's because of the sand that the water is not staying, and so now you found your root pattern. Now you know the same clay with which you are made, all the other people are also made with the same type of clay only. So you know that if you remove the sand from here, if you know how to remove the sand from this clay, naturally you have the knowledge to remove the sand from the other clay also. So what I understood is that the moment you know what is your root pattern itself, you'll understand that everything and everyone around you is also having some similar problem like that only, and you will be easily able to get them to find their root pattern and then make it as the source pattern. So what I understood is you basically having the clay with the sand is the root pattern. You finding out that the sand is the incomplete, sand is the part which does not make you feel complete and which makes you more and more powerless, And when you know how to remove it, that is the source pattern.
Erkan is asking, about an year ago, I had a dream and you appeared in a chariot and you took my hand and we went off together to the ashram. What does this mean?
Come on, come to Varanasi and come to the ashram Bidiji. Do diploma in Vedic science. I brought my chariot, now you have to get up. Get into the chariot.
We are now moving on to the 12th of April 2018. On this day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism conducted the day 12 of the ultimate spiritual Paramashivoham program, which happened under the auspice of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Maheshwara Puja was performed. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism blessed the ancestors to attain enlightenment and offered them pinda, or food, for the journey to their enlightenment. Another important part of the Maheshwara Puja is the offering of food to the master along with his monastic disciples. Offering food to the master is equal to feeding 10,000 hungry people. On this day, Nithyananda Paramashiva Devasthanam was inaugurated, and further, there was the official opening and inauguration of the Sadashiva Mandapam at the Bengaluru Adinam. The rituals initiated with the Mahaganapati Homa followed by the Navagraha Homa and Lakshmi Homa. Let us see the various happenings of the 12th of April 2018.
On the 12th day of the Mahasadashivoham, His Holiness Paramahamsa Nithyananda initiated the participants into the Shivoham process. The Shivoham process is the explosion of Kundalini Shakti in the body. Swamiji conducted the process with the Rudravina and used it to initiate the participants in the way Sadashiva prescribes in the Agamas.
The inauguration rituals for the grand opening of the largest golden Sadashiva temple on earth kicked off today with the Mahaganapati Homa. Mahaganapati is invoked as a first step for all Hindu rituals to remove obstacles and ensure successful fulfillment of the task being undertaken. We cannot even describe the space in the temple as we lead up to the April 14th grand launch. The music, the homa, the chanting, most of all the palpable presence of Mahasadashiva and all the Hindu gods and goddesses as they celebrate this auspicious happening for humankind. Adinavasis and volunteers are cleaning, decorating, polishing, laying carpets, gardening, gathering homa items, polishing jewelries, doing alankaram, cooking, sharing, as we perform this auspicious seva to Sadashiva and his presence on earth, His Holiness Paramahamsa Sri Nithyananda Swami.
नीलकण्ठं वह्निनयनं नित्यनिर्मलभासितं नीलकण्ठं वह्निनयनं नित्यनिर्मलभासितं भासितं भस्माङ्गदं शोभितं सुशोभितं भासितं भस्माङ्गदं शोभितं सुशोभितं पशुपतिं भवपाशबन्ध विमोचनम् नित्यानन्दं जीवन्मुक्तिप्रदायकम् पशुपतिं भवपाशबन्ध विमोचनम् नित्यानन्दं जीवन्मुक्तिप्रदायकम्
My name is Dr. Deepa Ramachandran. The yoga, the asana practice, the ritual of yoga has been amazing. This authentic, I have never seen this anywhere else. I have never seen this anywhere else. I've been always wanting to know the source, the absolute authentic source of yoga, and I found it, and I found it right here. So anybody who's out there looking for this kind of stuff, this is the place for you, and you need to come. Every day we get to experience and taste like wonderful, sattvic, agamic foods, which is I can't tell you how wonderful that is.
The Nityanandeshwara Sadashiva.
We are now moving into the year 12th of April 2020. On this day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism raised the consciousness of the delegates by bestowing them with a most blissful Venkateshwara Bhava Samadhi Darshan, contributing to over 108 humanitarian causes of Sri Kailasa Uniting Nations. Kailasa's Nithyananda Hindu University marked that day as Season 2, Day 8 of Paramashivoham. One of the major highlights of Kailasa's contributions through this convention is power manifestation. That day being the power of length and Surabhi, sannyasis of the Nityananda orders of monks and initiated acharyas worldwide affiliated with the Department of Education of Kailasa conducted a series of seminars focusing on truths of the Anahata Chakra, unconditional energy, Kriya for Kundalini awakening, manifesting abundance, completion with wealth, and 25 states of consciousness as revealed by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, inspiring millions towards the science of Hinduism. The next is the year 12th of April 2021. On this day, the ambassadors and delegates of the Kailasa nation received the Shakti Pada and Shakti Nipada with the live darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and the Parashakti Arulvap, which that he had made available to all humanity during the critical times of COVID that was still ravaging many parts of the world. On this day's presidential address, Nityananda Satsam, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, revealed cosmic truths on digestion, karma, kayakalpa, immortality. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism explained that in the previous satsang, he had covered the concept of digestion, and on that day, he was going to expand more about karma. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism shared that karma is our conscious software. Like how a computer functions based on the software installed on it, same way, our life's functioning is dependent on our conscious software. Our conscious software is our karma. It can also be called a conscious blueprint. The actions we did not do, we are about to do. The good and bad effects of all these is not karma. Karma is how our conscious software functions. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism further shared that we do not manifest what we want, we manifest what we believe. our attention should be turned towards the conscious software that runs our life. And with that, we come to the end of this beautiful segment. And I would like to remind everyone watching us live that we have the Paramashivoham Level 3 program coming up in just a few more days from the 1st to 21st of May 2022. And to join and to register for this event, you can log on to kailasa.org/Paramashivoham. And with that, we will now be getting ready for the beautiful satsang by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, the live satsang. Let's all sit straight and come to a space of deep listening and enjoy the Nithyananda satsang.
The auspicious program, the Kailasa Dharma Jyoti Religion and Worship Award Ceremony in celebration of the Global Conclave World Interfaith Harmony Week. I welcome all of you for this wonderful program. Today, we are recognizing the great services, contribution in the field